Whatever time you're watching this, I want to welcome you to this special program, which is the preschool series for the High Income Skill University. Now, this is a bonus series that you get to participate in or partake in for being one of the first 100 who signed up for the university. Not everybody in the university is going to be getting this particular series, so you're just privileged to be one of the few that would get this. So I would like you to pay rapt attention to everything I'll be teaching in this series because this is a very special bonus. It's supposed to give you a head start ahead of the university and also give you some form of unfair advantage over all the people that are going to be part of the university, so you can start to make money even with this preschool series training before you get into the university. So I hope you're excited and then this is worth it. So welcome once again to the preschool series, and I'm going to run through what you will be getting in this particular preschool series. Now, the university takes 4 major courses, or you're going to be privileged in having trained in 4 certification programs like we talked about earlier, which includes sales and closing certification program. This is where you get to learn everything about selling, and like I always say, the major skill that everyone needs to have, either an entrepreneur or an employee, is ability to sell, because you're selling either yourself or a product or a service. At every time you interact with other human beings, you're selling something. You're selling an idea about yourself. You're selling a belief about yourself. You're selling a product you want someone to buy, or you're selling a certain service that you want someone to use. So sales is what makes everyone tick or big in their success journey, or in their journey to become better than they are. So whatever level you are today, your ability to sell is one of the major determining factor to your success. And secondly is public speaking. How do you even sell when you can't express yourself? So you need to be, pardon me, able to express yourself as a professional speaker. All right, you necessarily don't have to practice public speaking as a means of income, but whatever it is that you want to do, you need the ability to communicate effectively to be able to succeed in that thing you're trying to do. Remember, communication is 7% what is said, 33% of how you say it, or the tone you use and say it, and a chunk 55% your body language. So how do you move? How do you say it? What did you do while you're saying the things that you're saying? So it's important that you learn these acts to be able to succeed. And of course, because over 67% of the world population is active on the internet today, it means over 60% of every audience you would ever need for either your business or the business you're working for are on the internet. Hence, you need to learn the use of digital tools to communicate your brand, to communicate your product, to communicate your service, or to communicate your idea, as it were. That's why even churches are now doing online service. Isn't it interesting? So you need to learn how to sell on the digital space. How do you use the tools? How do you understand the language? Because this changes every month. So you're going to get trained and, of course, certified to be a digital marketer. And finally, the greatest skill of all, this is amazing for anyone who's an introvert. So in case you think you're an introvert or an ambivert, this is the major skill you need to learn: ability to write a copy, ability to communicate with your biro or your fingers typing things that will keep on selling for the rest of the existence of that copy. Everything about any major corporation that involves selling or communication is a copy. So learning the act of copywriting is going to change everything for you. So all these 4 things is what you will be getting. But because you are part of the few people who took advantage of this earlier, you are getting this following bonus, which means in the preschool, you're going to be learning high ticket mindset training, which is the training you're having in this video. In the subsequent video, I'm going to take you through a 4-week series of how you can make money on the internet without necessarily spending a dime. All right, majorly what you would need is just your internet and then your laptop or your phone, as the case may be. But what are the things you can do without necessarily putting money in, and you can make good money on a weekly or monthly basis on the internet? This is a 4-part series going to follow this next video. And then the other one, you're going to learn free training on how to run effective Instagram ads with little or no budget. I told you, those of you who probably, if you attended my digital marketing training, I showed how I reached over 150,000 people within 1 month and spending less than $200. Yeah, I think I spent about 140 something dollars, and I was able to reach that chunk of people with my message. How did I do it with Instagram? I would also be throwing that training in for you. And finally, for those of you that are willing, I may give you some gig to manage some Instagram pages or Facebook pages for clients, and you get paid for each of the pages that you are managing. So these major 4 things is what you are getting because you took action to be a part of the university earlier than the launch of the university. So let's get right into it. The first training we are having, our first course today, is the high ticket mindset. High ticket mindset. This is very important to your success. It's very important to where you're going, and it will change everything about your story. You know, a few days ago, I was talking to a client, and he was telling me about a certain strategy he used in running his business. He's a network marketer, and he has made huge success. I mean, extremely huge success in network marketing industries, because he has earned in a lot of millions in his local currency, which is Nigeria Naira, and of course some very significant amounts when you put it in US dollars. And then this was amazing, and he shared this strategy with me, which I believe completely in. But I told him that, does he know there are people that are half his age who necessarily does not do half of the hard work he does, and all they do is to go online, create a particular demand, and then put it online, and then they are making roughly $2 to $3 million every month. And he opened his mouth because in his entire career, I'm not sure he has made up to $3 million. All right. So how can he put in so much effort trying to do a whole lot of things, and he still haven't made a lot of money? And there are people who are not as educated, as old, and as hardworking as he is, who just put things online and are making a lot of millions in dollars. Right now, if you're not spending US dollars, if you're not in the US, just try to calculate what $1 million is in your currency. In Nigeria, that's almost 400 million naira. So I'm talking about 18-year-old, 22-year-old making over $400 million per month. Just imagine that. So that's what we're talking about, high ticket mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? Are you thinking low or you're thinking high? What will make you think high? All right, what will make you think low? How do you change your mindset to be high ticket? Because trust me, what you cannot think, you can't attract. And I figured out that the root of all human experience, or all human experiences, is tied to their mindset. You see, your mindset is what determines your experience. The way you think is what determines how you live. All right, the Bible says that as a man thinks in his mind, so is he. All right, and this is very, very true, because even the foundational principles about life are also proven that the kind of thought that goes on in your mind continuously creates your experience. I want to ask you a question. Have you heard about this book or seen this movie, The Secret? If you have not, please take a time after this video to go on YouTube and type The Secret. Watch a few documentary about it. Basically, it's talking about the laws of attraction, how what you think attracts, all right, the experiences of your thoughts into your life. If you continually think about something, it's going to attract it to your life. If you are a fan of football, I will tell you a story about Liverpool. A few years ago, Liverpool won Champions League. I think they did it recently again. But the last one they won, that they played AC Milan. If you like football, I don't like football, but somehow I know this story. So Liverpool, as a club, were playing AC Milan. AC Milan was 3 goals ahead of them in the first half, and in the second half they equalized and eventually won AC Milan, and then won the Champions League. And when they were interviewing the coach of Liverpool, guess what he said? He said that it wasn't even the coach, I think it was his wife. Yeah, his wife was interviewed, and his wife said that He has always said before he clock 50, he will win the Champions League. Before he clock 50, he will win the Champions League. That's the coach now saying, my team, whatever team I coach before I clock 50, that team will win the Champions League. And the day they won the Champions League was, guess what? 2 weeks to his birthday. That's how massive the things you think about continuously become reality to you. If you don't have interruption in your thought, I'm going to open your eyes to a lot of crazy secret in this video, which will change everything about you. Because without these things, first of all, being dealt with, you will not be able to create the kind of life that you have always desired. I believe, and I want to assume, that one of the reasons you're part of the university or you sign up for the high income skill university is because you want to earn high. All right, you don't want to live a mediocre life or live a life of poverty. You desire to have more, and you want to have more, and you will have more, and that is why you decide to be a part of this. But I figured out that the number one reason that make everyone poor is not because they are not hardworking. It's not because they don't pray or they don't believe in God or Allah or whatever it is that you believe in. It's not even because they didn't have a good degree in school. The number one reason that a lot of people are poor is because of what I call financial thermostat, and I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But there's this example I always like to give to people. Now look at this gentleman on your screen. He's a hardworking man. You can guess, yeah? You can see from the dirt on his clothes, you can see he's wearing a very dirty boxer, and he has dug a well. So he has done fantastic job. If hard work really brings money, this guy should be richer than Bill Gates, isn't it? So it's not really about the hard work. It's about the kind of work you are doing. Now, if you look at this man and I move up to him and I tell him that, you know, in the next 1 year, you're going to make $1 million. $1 million. What do you think he's going to think about? In his mind, he's going to think about how many well he has to dig to make $1 million. Because all he knows to do to make money is digging well. All right. So in his mind, he can't see beyond it, because unless he's going to rob a bank, what he's going to think about is the only job I have, the only skill I have right now that I eat with is digging wells. So how many well will I dig to make $1 million? And this is what happened to a lot of people these days. Probably you also. When you make a financial goal and you're trying to aim for the sun, something tells you, why are you writing this kind of amount of money? What are you going to do to make it? It can't happen. All right, I'm going to share some things that will blow your mind in this video. So let's talk about financial thermostat, which I believe is the foundational reason or the major reason you have your current bank account. That's the major reason you have what you have today. You see, our subconscious are programmed in such a way that some of us, all right, feel that we do not deserve some amount of money. And no matter what we do, that amount of money will never come to us. See, every human being has been programmed subconsciously to attract and retain a certain level of wealth. Unless that programming, all right, that construct in your subconscious is affected or altered, you will not be able to make the kind of money you have been saying. See, it's not about writing it down or saying it. If your subconscious does not agree with it, if your thermostat is not set at that level, you would never make that money. If you make that money by mistake, you will lose it. And that is why you see some people whose thermostat are set at 10 naira. All right. If you give them if you give them 10 million naira, they will keep on making mistakes continuously until they lose, and they are at that $10 or that 10 naira, and then they become stable. If someone else is set at 10 million and you give him 10 naira or $10, he's going to make the right decision and build until he gets to that 10. So you can see that everything is tied around the mindset. All right. So wherever your mind is set, that is what determines the kind of experiences you're going to have constantly about money. That's why I know people who won lottery or who won some kind of promo somehow, and then they are broke afterwards. You and I know people who were in politics and somehow they became very poor after they left the office. It's because their thermostat would always control the effect or the experiences of their life. And this is very, very important. Some years ago, I was speaking to some group of graduates, and I told them that then I was fully in HR. And I told them if I would love to give them a job where they could earn roughly about $500 on a monthly basis. That's about 150K at that time, 150,000 naira at that time, and because this was in Nigeria, and I told them that they work for just 9 hours a day and for 5 days a week, and almost all the hands were up. There was about 2,500 graduates. And so I said, put your hands down. I have another option. How many of you would like to earn 5 million in 3 months working for only 1 hour a week? The hands that were up went up to 20. So out of curiosity, I came down the podium and I approached them and I asked one of them, why is your hand not up? I saw you raise your hand when I talked about just 150,000. And now I'm talking about 5 million and with lesser work, and you're not interested. He looked at me and said, bros, I don't believe him. That's in vernacular. It means I don't believe it. It is not possible. How many times do we desire to have something we do not believe? And that is a function of our thermostat, the setting that our experiences, our background, our exposure had created in us, which makes our subconscious to reject some amount of wealth. And when we mention it, we don't think this thing does not belong to people like us. People like us does not make this kind of money. And that is a very, very serious case that makes a lot of people, including you, have your current bank account, including me. That's what makes me have my current bank account. So whatever I have right now is a function of where my thermostat is currently, because you would notice there is an amount of money that you always have. No matter what happens, if you go below it, you will bounce back there very fast. If you go above it, you will come back there very fast. That is where your thermostat is. And in this video, one of the things we shift is how you can reset that thermostat so that you can start to attract high tickets, so that you can make a lot of money in your journey to building whatever it is that your dream is from the beginning of this program. So let me quickly share a story with you. There is this gentleman who wanted to impress his new business partners who decided to partner with him. And he invited him over to his house, which is by the lake, on a certain weekend. And he told them that he would like them to go on a boat cruise to catch some fishes. And I remember I used to go fishing when I was way younger, and the joy that comes when you catch your first fish. If you have done this before, I'm sure you can relate to what I'm trying to say. Now, he put them on his new boat that he just bought, and then they set the boat to go to the north side of the lake. And when they put it on the north side of the lake, 90-degree north, they discovered that after 1 hour, they did not catch any fish. So he checked and he discovered that the navigation system is back to the west side of the lake where they started from. So he switched it again to 180-degree north. And then after 1 hour, they didn't get any fish. He checked it again. The boat had returned to the west. He turned it again some degrees more towards north. And after another 1 hour, they came back to the exact place where they started from because they couldn't catch any fish. So one of his friends now asked him, hey guy, is it possible that you have an autopilot in this boat? He said, what is an autopilot? So I said, it's this programming thingy that it's going to make the boat to always be at a certain place, at a certain space or place at every point in time, regardless of what happens. So they decided to check, and they discovered that there was actually an autopilot that was pre-programmed to always keep the boat on the west side of the lake. All right, how interesting. So no matter what they do, the boat will always find itself back to the west side. Ladies and gentlemen, there is always an autopilot in every one of us. It don't matter how you go. You notice sometime your life revolves in a cycle. All right, you are there. Maybe it's better sometimes, but of course, it's just a direct, simpler cycle. It's because there is an autopilot running you. There's an autopilot running me. Now, you and I have the power to set the autopilot to where we want it to be. I don't know if you're following me in this video. You and I have the power to set our autopilot to wherever it is that we want it to go. So where is your autopilot? Where are you? Remember, if you had attended the high paying job webinar, you probably hear me teach about finding out where you are. All right. So where really are you right now? Where is the autopilot set? How do you reset it? How do you create it? How do you make it go higher and above? Now, talking about high ticket mindset, one of the first core things that you need to notice and get yourself accustomed to is ability to create solutions for multiple problems. What did I say? Ability to create solutions for multiple problems. If you do not know how to create solutions for multiple problems, you will struggle to create wealth. You will find yourself always begging when people should beg you. You should not miss what I just said. You find yourself always begging people for things when they should be the one begging you for things. So, how do you do this? You need to have a mindset of problem solving. You need to be a problem solver. Every journey or trip to wealth begins with the problem. All right. Problem is generic commodities. The ubiquitous nature is second to none. Problems are everywhere. Life is either you are in a problem, or you are just coming out of a problem, or you are about to enter a problem. So you are always in that circle of problem. Now, every time you are in a problem and someone brings a solution to you, value is created, and value is what creates income. So you need to have a mindset that is always able, ready to solve multiple problems for different kinds of people. Now, there are kinds of problems you will solve, and a billionaire told me this. He said, how to make $1 billion is to solve $1 billion problem. Yeah, look for a problem that 1 billion people have, and they can pay you $1 each, and then you make $1 billion. So it's either you look for a problem that you can solve for billionaires who can pay you $1 billion directly, or you look for a problem that 1 billion people have and they are willing to pay for, and then you can solve it for them. So the kind of problem you solve is what determines the kind of income that comes to you. And I had a session with a protege a few moments ago before I started this video, and I talked about in every phase of your life, you need to always have ability to create an income. And what I taught before, and I've always taught, which I will still teach you, and that is why you're part of this program, this university, is that skill is the foundation of every wealthy person. If you do not have skills that can create wealth, that can solve problems, all right, because you can't solve problems without solution. You can't create solution without skills. It takes skills to create solution, and solutions is what you exchange for value when you're solving problems. So you see the link. You have to have a skill or relevant skills to be able to create solutions to solve problems for people. So that is very important in your journey to creating wealth, in your journey to creating a high ticket mindset. So that journey starts with skill. So what skill are you acquiring? There are 4 skills you're going to acquire, at least at the minimum, in this program. And this skill will continuously pay you for the rest of your life. It does not matter. It does not matter what the economy is saying. It does not matter where you are located. These skills are in high demand. And you will also learn, when we get into the university proper, the things you can do to deploy these skills that you have learned. How can you, within your immediate environment, all right, either in Africa or in Europe or in America, wherever it is that you're watching this from, how can you apply the skills you just picked up immediately within your environment and start making money from it? And remember, internet is always your friend. The globalized world is always going to allow you offer value to anyone anywhere in the world, and you get paid from anywhere you are in the world also. So skill is the foundation. When you have the skill, then you can scale it to create a business out of it. Then you can think about investing later on. And this is the model that I've always taught people, is the wealth cycle: skill, business, investment, and you create multiple wealth. All right. I would rather make 2 million from my skill and use it to start a business, where I can scale. Scaling means I can do things in a multiplied way or do it once, like the university. I'm going to create it once and then it will keep on bringing income. So that becomes a business. Now, from every income that I made there are at least two things that I'm going to do, which I'm going to share with you later on during this preschool. All right, which is like a bonus for you. All right, that I'm going to put this money in as investment first. The yield of that investment is what I'm going to put into things like real estate. Sometimes people try to do real estate with little income, with little investment, and that really does not bring them anything serious or significant. But there are things you can invest in at the start that will grow within a short period and give you enormous return that can go into investments like real estate. And that is part of the things that we're going to talk about later. Now, how do you change your mindset? How do you readjust your thermostat? How do you reset your autopilot? What are the things you can do to be able to create that desired experience that you have always wanted? How do you do it that you too can make your own $10,000 a month, without being told when to work, without being told when to sleep, and having ability to spend time with people that matter in your life? How can you make minimum of $10,000 a month and be able to travel the world if that is what brings you fun? All right, and be able to do whatever it is that brings you fun. How do you do it? What are the few steps that you have to take? So I'm going to share a few things with you that I want you to practice. Now, the first thing I would like you to do is do what I call create a mental video. Have you heard about the word imagination before? Imagination is mental image. All right, but there's a level that is higher than image. Is when you create a mental video. And creating a mental video means your imagination, you give life to it. Give life to your imagination means keep emotions attached to what you are thinking about. I used to do that thing many years ago. I walk a very long distance and I will fantasize. I will imagine me having a million and what I'm going to do first. How I'm going to impress that lady that refused to say yes to me. I mean, all kinds of things just run through my head. I was just think about it. And before I know what's happening, I'm already where I'm going. And I've walked several kilometers already. So that's what we call emotion. So attach emotion to the thought in your head, and that is what creates a mental video. Now, what kind of mental video are you going to create? This is what I want you to do. Pick up your pen right now, pause the video at this point, get a pen and a paper, and write the following things down. So I'm going to wait for you to pause this video right now and quickly do that and get back so we can continue. Now, welcome back. So I'm glad you have a pen and a paper right now to write these things down. Now, I want you to think about an amount of money that you think is too big for you, that there's nothing you do that you'll be able to make that amount of money right now. For somebody, it could be $1 million. For another person, it could be a million in their own local currency. It could be $1 billion, whatever the amount of money is that you think is too big for you right now. I mean, there's nothing you can do right now that's going to give you that kind of money. So write it down. Yours could be 100,000, whatever it is, but make sure it is very, very unbelievable. I mean, like, you can't make this money right now. It's nothing you know right now that you can make that money. All right. Now close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to do this assignment or this exercise that I'm about to give you twice every day, at least for the next 3 weeks. Twice every day for the next 3 weeks. Close your eyes. Close your eyes right now. Now imagine you receiving a bank alert of that amount you just written down. Just imagine it. Yeah, I want you to attach emotion to it. Some of you will shout, yeah! Like we said, there's a difference between alert and alarm. So this is supposed to be like an alarm. It's going to switch off your phone because it's so huge an amount of money that you were not thinking about it. So just close your eyes. Imagine that money come right now. And I want you to start thinking about 5 things you will do first. And see yourself doing those things. You can pause the video to enjoy this. Just imagine it. You can take another 1 hour to think about this if you like. But this is supposed to be just a 1-minute exercise. Just imagine yourself thinking about those things. Imagine yourself thinking about, enjoying it, experiencing it. Imagine yourself driving that beautiful Bentley, driving that beautiful Ferrari. It's amazing. Imagine yourself playing the loud music like you've always loved to play, or your favorite music in that beautiful car if it's a car that you want. Imagine yourself in that swimming pool that is transparent and is suspended in your mansion at the eyebrow area of your city. Whatever it is you would want to do, just imagine yourself do it. Please close your eyes and imagine yourself do it right now. Yes, feel it right now. Imagine yourself marrying that man of your dream, that woman of your dream. Imagine your first kiss. Just imagine it. Whatever it is you want to do. Imagine yourself getting that degree from that university, being the top of your class. Imagine yourself buying that private jet. Just imagine it right now. All right, imagination is free. Create that mental video. What is important in this is the fact that you are attaching emotion to it. Can you feel it? Beautiful. So that is how to create a mental video. This is what I want you to do every morning and every night. Make it an habit. You can do it continuous to the rest of your life, but at least do this for about 3 weeks. Now, when you do this, what is going to happen to you? What is going to happen to you is that it will activate what we call your personal recognition system. Now, to explain what a personal recognition system is, I need to tell you a short story about myself. See, some few years ago, I bought my first car, and it was not a bad car. Now, before this car, I had another car in mind that I wanted to buy. And unfortunately, I could not get the type of the car that I wanted to buy. So we went into a dealership in Lagos, Nigeria, at Tinkan in Lagos, and we saw all kinds of cars. But somehow we stumbled on this beautiful car that I felt like I have not seen it before. I mean, this was the first time apparently that I was seeing this car. I've never seen it before. It was so unique and so cool. I entered it. I felt like, no, this is my car. Man, I felt it. I smelt it. I felt, oh no. The guy who was selling the car said, this car fits you. It's your car. Just take it. Take it. I said, oh my goodness, I just had to take this car. So I felt nobody had the car in the city I was living at that time. It was a very unique car. It was crazy and good and all that. So I had this emotional connection. What did I say? Write it down. Emotional connection with the car immediately. And some of you that do what we call ashwebi in Nigeria, you notice when they bring a clothing material, a fabric to you, you feel so unique that you've not seen it before. It's so beautiful. You love it. You have an emotional connection with it. But something would happen immediately you leave that place they show you the fabrics. Immediately you drive off that meeting that you went to see the fabrics, which was exactly what happened to me. When I got to my town, which was a smaller town than Lagos, guess what happened? Within 3 days, I saw all the colors of this car. It means people have been driving this my car all along. I just did not know because my personal recognition system was not activated for that car. The same thing with the ashwebi or the material you see. The moment you drive out, automatically you see somebody crossing the pedestrian bridge wearing the same material. You see somebody walking on the street wearing the same material. You'll be so shocked. Like what I thought was so unique was so different. Are you getting the point I'm trying to paint right here? Moment your personal recognition system is activated for something, you start to see it everywhere. Listen to me. When you start to play a mental video about the amount of money that you think is bigger than you right now, what happens is your emotional connection to that money and the things you want to do with it, all right, create what we call a personal recognition system activation. And the moment you do that, you will start to recognize opportunities around you that can give you that kind of money, that can give you the kind of things you want to do with the money. Why I say you should think about things to do is because money does not gravitate to people. Responsibility is what gravitates to people. The things you will use money to do is what will make the money come close to you. You can't eat paper notes. But what you would do with paper notes is what is valuable, is what is important to you. So the cars, the house, the charity project, whatever it is that you want to do is what is important. And that is where your emotions need to be attached. Once your emotion is attached, the means to get those things will start to show up to you. The same way I started seeing this car everywhere, the different colors of it. a car that I never knew existed before. But apparently, I've always been seeing it, but I didn't recognize it because my personal recognition system was not activated. And this really, my dear, is the secret to creating the life that you want. So the more you create mental video about things you want, about the kind of money that you think is bigger than you, the more your personal recognition system is activated and you will be able to attract it. Why? Because you would always attract your most dominant thoughts. You will always attract your most dominant thoughts. What kind of thoughts is dominant in your mind? What do you think about often? What do you think about every day? This is very important. And to conclude this video today, while talking about high ticket mindset, I want you to make sure you watch your company, please. A sheep cannot flock with these guys, man. You have to be a lion to walk with the pride. Watch the company you keep. You are sum total of the first 5 people that surround you. Yeah, you are an average of the first 5 people surround you. Who are the people you surround yourself with every now and then? You can't be the smartest people amongst your friends. You have to be the dumbest. So you need to keep on changing friends until all your friends are people that are smarter, bigger, better than you, older in some cases, or probably even younger than you. So this is what I will leave with you until I send you the next video in the series for the preschool and also preparing you for the university proper. So you need to change your mindset because of the things I'm going to be sharing with you in the university. If you do not have this mindset change, it might affect your belief to be able to accept it. Thank you very much for watching. I catch you in the next video.